You've got your top 10 cornerback rankings as of right now. Let's go over them. Who you got?
All right, so I went Jalen Ramsey 1, Stephon Gilmore 2, Xavien Howard 3, A.J. Bouye 4, William Jackson 5, Byron Jones 6, Kyle Fuller 7, Patrick Peterson 8, Marshawn Lattimore 9, Chris Harris Jr. at number 10.
Lattimore seems high.
I know. You know, Lattimore...
That's a line that could be taken out of context. Lattimore seems like he's ranked a little higher on the list than he should be.
Maybe, you know, like most of the year last year, he was not as good as he was his rookie year. His rookie year, he was phenomenal. Last year, I would say the first 12, 13 weeks of the year, I was going, man, this is not the guy that I saw last year. But I thought at the end of the year, playoffs, he was pretty damn phenomenal. So, yeah, I'm going to put him in that category because there's just not a lot of corners in the NFL with his size and speed and length and everything that goes with it. But, yeah, those would be my top 10 corners.
I feel like the Cowboys are not going to be able to pay one of their many looming free agents.
Right.
Maybe Byron Jones is the odd man out.
Yeah.
I mean, is he going to get big money if he gets the open market?
I think so.
Is he a guy that could push $15 million a year higher?
I do. I mean, Byron Jones, again, was a guy that was played out of position a little bit coming out of UConn. They moved him to safety at first, even though he was a corner at UConn. So they moved him to safety. It didn't work out. He goes back to corner and almost instantly shows, oh, my gosh, this guy is like an elite-level athlete. You know, he was a combine freak. And, yeah, I think he is a shutdown island-type corner, as we say, to where, yeah, he should be right in this conversation with being the highest-paid corner in all of football. Corners are it's a great position. You're not going to be the king of the mountain forever at that position because I don't know if there's a place on the field where you need to be more physically elite on a yearly basis than to go. I mean, just imagine what they're asked to do. You know, hey, go see that guy over there, Odell Beckham Jr.? We'd like you to go cover him, man to man.
Figure out where he's going.
Oh, yeah.
And go there.
It's you only have to cover him for this on this big field that's 53 1/3 yards and 100 yards long. Other than that, no problem. He's got to stay inside the white lines, but you got to cover him everywhere else there.
Is it 53 1/3 or just 53?
I think it's 53 1/4, I think.
I thought it was just 53.
I think there's a little extra on there.
Well, and something that we touched on during the show this morning on NBCSN, when we did a draft of the top corners now, how much it changes.
Right.
Year to year, 2 years, 3 years, it's completely different, which should cause us to respect, as much as I'm not a big Deion Sanders fan, like the TV guy and the person, but how long was he like the preeminent guy? And he fended off every potential heir to his throne, where now the turnover is every couple years.
It does. I mean, right now, it seems like every 3, 4, 5 years, it's a new group of guys that are challenging for the top spot in football. Like, hey, Patrick Peterson's still awesome. I'm not going to sit here and just give him the number one corner in football because he's Patrick Peterson. He's still amazing. But no, in year, 8 going in for Patrick Peterson? He's just not on the same level as Jalen Ramsey.
9, actually. It's 9.
So, not on the same level exactly as some of the younger guys who still have that legit explosion, acceleration. You're going to lose those things as years goes on. But, Deion Sanders, Darrell Green, Darrell Revis, Champ Bailey. You get into some of those guys, Mike Haynes in the 80s. They're special. They're a different athlete altogether. They are even special for the NFL special. That's how special the cornerback position is. I have this conversation a lot with what is in that? Who's the greatest athletes in the NFL? Is it corners? I don't know. Who is it? What's your definition of an athlete? Because I could show you corners who I go explosive as hell, best vertical on the team, best 40-yard dash on the team, but damn, they can't throw, they can't hit a golf ball, they can't dribble a basketball. And then, so is that the best athlete? What's your definition of athlete? You know what I mean?
And it depends on what the sport is that you're playing.
Right, but even with football,
unless we're talking about
who would you say is the best athlete on the football field? If you had to pick one position, would you pick receivers, DBs? Where would you go with?
Maybe a running back.
Maybe a running back?
And it's funny, the decathlon was always the way to determine the best athlete in the world.
Right.
That may have been more hype than anything else, but you do a bunch of different things.
Right.
I feel like running backs can do a bunch of different things, and I think that running backs now, before you become infatuated with being the star player in high school, think about your future. And maybe when you go to college, it's I don't want to be the running back.
Jalen Hurd.
Yeah, maybe I can can catch passes or play defensive back or play safety. I remember when Ben Tate said, boy, if I had to do it all over again, I'd be a safety, not a running back. And, you know, that athleticism that allows you to get in those car crashes, the problem is you get in those car crashes.
Yeah, right. No,
I always thought a corner is more athletic than a receiver because the corner has to figure out where the receiver's going and go there.
Yeah, no.
The receiver's got the benefit of knowing where he's going.
Right. Well, I hear you. So, yeah, from that, but what is athlete? So what I'm trying to say, too. But, you know, like the DB can't catch. He can't do anything like sometimes skill-wise, right, where the receiver can do that. The receiver's usually pretty good at shooting baskets and has good hand-eye. Just an interesting conversation, I'm saying.
And it depends on, like, linemen.
Yeah.
What's going to define the best athlete as a lineman is strength.
Yeah.
But I think for the rest of the field, I think ability to change directions quickly is your best attribute. It makes you the best athlete. Yeah. Because anybody who can change directions quickly, if you're a defensive back, you can recover.
Right.
If you're a receiver or a running back, you can fake somebody out of his jock and off you go.
That's a fair way to put it.
And if you're a quarterback, if you can throw, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of an athlete you are, if you can throw the ball through a space that big, 60 yards down the field on a line.
It'll make up for a lot.
That's what's great about football.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many different skills that come together, so many different body types that come together in that one game.
This was a big argument in the locker room a lot. You know, who are the best athletes in the locker room? And it was usually the DBs and the wide receivers that were having this argument. Because, yeah, the DBs are probably pound for pound a little stronger, and like you're saying, maybe a little bit more explosive that way. But the wide receivers are going to sit there and go, yeah, but none of you can catch a ball, and none of you can throw a baseball or a football, or none of you have a jump shot. So they would be like, well, that's not an athlete then. You're not an athlete. You know, you're just physically gifted. That's what they would say. But you're not an athlete like I am. You know, Odell Beckham Jr.'s of the world and, you know, Julio Jones and those guys are going to be like, well, I could cross you over in a basketball game. And I think you'd see some DBs that would go out there and go, damn, you can't even dribble. I know I played with a few DBs like that where I was like, damn, you're a Hall of Fame defensive back and you can't even dribble a basketball. What the hell's wrong with you? But that's not what he had to do.
All right, I have one more thing I have to do before we wrap this up.
Another ad?
Yeah, man.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Do you get a check?
No.
You don't get a check?
From NBC.
Well, then shut up. All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.